In the day I found you under a white undying light, and in the night I bound you, you call as I take flight. The mystery called me out from south to west and east, and back again to north, where died did any doubt. We are creatures of desire, desire for companionship, desire for truth and knowing, desire for experience and wisdom. A pure insanity comes from a restless spirit. It is a representation of old wishes that are no longer viable in the real world. Like a star is not visible light of its present, but as it was in the past. Insanity is to visualize what is not true in the present. It is a disillusionment of being and a break with consciousness. The greatest danger is that a pure insanity knows no undoing. It can only be wrought forward in time. We learn to accept failure. We learn to accept circumstance. We adapt our philosophy to match that of our daily living. Some of us that fail to adapt instead adapt the world around us. Those that fail to adapt themselves and the world fall by the wayside and will depend on other people for the rest of their lives. Would a God exist that allows for pure insanity to bring about irrevocable sin? How far into our philosophies ought we to fall, to trust in one, the way we feel and believe that it trusts in us? I refuse to be your stalker, but I do. You cut me with words that sound like a truth, but before I go to bed they are useless. We all need a love that is possible. We all need to be held by arms of human descent, kissed by a man's lips, honored by thoughts of God's giving. I gave in to my hope of you for the second time, and it soured. It grew ripe and rotten, fell off the vine and took root in the earth, and is now on a hopelessly slow schedule to make it back to the height of the tree. I refuse to be a slave to my own mind. There is plenty more of me to go around. So what if it cries your name like it cried for mother or father? Do I vanquish you in order that I vanquish myself? For my demons have been slaughtered, but the bleeding stalks of their necks remain. That I would smite myself through your word if I could but use your hand for the grip of my blade. I am here for now, and the entrails of my affection for you are rotting in the open sun. They tell me to forget you, and I obey, only because it is more God's will than my own, and yet the fact that you don't love me asks that I stop believing in God. Why would all my being point to this one thing? Why would I choose it in this sense that is maddening to anything rational? Why would I throw associations into your thought pattern and identify with every move and breath your cognitions floated into my thought space, only to throw it all up in this unpleasant cacophony of non-realization, non-being, and subliminated torture? I am the guilty one of not choosing silence over repercussive contact. But I am not the only one. So many of us, here on earth, create ciphers of unrequited love, in harsh poetics, brilliant ballads, and womanly words. To what? For what? From what authority? And to what end? So fine then, and do enjoy your silence. I am wild and free, and that terrifies you, or bores you, or drowns you. Whatever it does, it is not what I could have been, what I have been restrained. Yet, I don't even believe in shoulds or could haves, certainly not regret, and certainly not for cowards.